Where you at, guys? I want to discuss something that's really been getting on my nerves since like 2007 when it came out. It's something I like to call the Sunwell syndrome. Fucking what that is it's a scenario in which doesn't matter what the fuck happens in lore because Anveena is the Sunwell, and that is the argument for basically everything. So this stems from the Sunwell Plateau. When they first released it in Burning Crusade, the end of Burning Crusade. There was a huge story behind it, but it was all covered exclusively in the book series and not in the actual game of World of Warcraft. Now, this is an end of expansion entire series. There was a set of quest lines that both factions had to do and accomplish over a period of time to unlock different events that would eventually lead to the final raid instance of the expansion. And the main plot of it was not even covered a little bit. Not even a little bit. In the game. I'm going to show you right now exactly what was shown in the game relevant to this storyline, and I'm going to show you all of it. Ready? Here you go. And that's it. That is absolutely all of the backstory that you're going to get, or that you did get if you played this when it was content. And in case you were wondering what the entire full story behind Anveena and the entire Sunwell series is that wasn't actually introduced into the game World of Warcraft, I'll tell it to you real quick. So before kael'thas and his blood elves buggered off to Outland through the Dark Portal, they found out that the Sunwell was corrupted. He didn't want the corruption spreading to his people, so he fucking blew it up. This meant that Darkhan, the evil Scourge-affiliated blood elf person, necromancer guy who was sort of responsible for the downfall of kael'thas, was unable to take the Sunwell's energies for himself. Now, the dragon Corielstrasz, yeah, remember the prime consort of the Dragon Queen Alexstrasza, you know, this guy, remember him? Yeah, me neither, he's not really relevant in the story ever at all. So, Corielstrasz turned the remaining Sunwell energies into a person called Anveena. He gave her fake memories and even put her up with a fake family. So she was just living in basically this area, roughly around here, and nobody knew what was going on. One day, Mr. kael'thas, he gets sort of shot down by a group of dragon hunters and caught in a net. And Anveena, the little girl, comes out and basically saves him, nurses him back to health, and he's like, oh, I love this girl, great. Awesome. So, they have some adventures, they evade some dragon hunters, they find out she's the Sunwell. Darkhan finds out that the Sunwell is traveling around with these dragons in the form of Anveena, and he tries to take her powers for himself once again. A bunch of dragons, like 3 dragons, are unable to beat this guy, yet you're able to one-shot him because he's like level 10 or whatever in World of Warcraft.
Hangs in the balance.
So after they beat Darkhan, they're like, oh yeah, I belong with the elves because I'm the Sunwell. So she's taken under the care of Lor'themar Theron, the Lord of the Blood Elves, and the absence of kael'thas, while him and his forces are away in Outland. And Caelix stays with Anveena, with the Blood Elves. So the entirety of the Burning Crusade, there's this blue dragon, and Anveena just, I suppose, in Silvermoon. Yeah, right? They have a Naru that's powering Blood Knights, and they also have the Sunwell in the form of a human. And a blue dragon. It's pretty great. So kael'thas comes back to life. Perfect, you know that. He steals not only Muru from right under Lor'themar's nose, but he also steals the Sunwell itself, and he uses both of them to try and summon Kil'jaeden back into the world, and that's the part of the story that you end up in World of Warcraft in the Fury of the Sunwell patch. All of that happened without anyone knowing it. Also, Trag High Mountain, remember this guy from exclusively and only the Argent tournament in Wrath of the Lich King? Yeah, he also helped heal Anveena up when he was still alive and not a Death Knight after she fell off the back of a dragon in the Sunwell series. So that's where this guy's from. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that you would never in a million years have ever been able to know because they didn't put it in the game. The series began in 2005 and concluded in March of 2007. The patch Fury of the Sunwell, which introduced the Sunwell instance and all the storyline that was supposedly related to it, came out a little more than a year later, in March of 2008. Now, the problem with this is that not a lot of people read the book. Not a lot of people read the manga series. Okay, first of all, not a lot of people read it. I saw it was actually more popular in Russia and Poland than in the U.S. And especially the player base, the people that were fans of Warcraft, especially in 2005, Warcraft was Warcraft wasn't even around or World of Warcraft wasn't even around for a year when this series started. So not a lot of people who played the game were exactly avid readers of the manga series, the Sunwell trilogy. So what happened is you had all of these people getting really excited and doing all this new content, seeing how amazing it was, and having no idea at all whatsoever what the main storyline was about. All you got after going through the Magister's Terrace, you see, oh, Kael'thas has been resurrected. I remember fighting him in Tempest Keep. This is going to be so awesome. He's got 3 of those verdant spheres. We took one of them, now he's got 2. I bet when we kill him again, he's going to become one of the San Lane and have 1 sphere left in Wrath of the Lich King, right?
With the power of the orb, Valinor will have his vengeance.
Blizzard, you fucked that one up. Anyway, what happened was you would go through this instance chasing down Kael'thas, and right before you got to them, 2 bosses before Kael'thas, you ran into Kael'thas. And you're like, the fuck is this guy? Oh, this is the dragon. This is the dragon that we didn't fight yet, or we didn't get introduced to yet, because, right, he's a boss, sort of. He's the first sort of boss in the Sunwell Plateau raid. That's not accessible content yet because our server hasn't gotten that far into unlocking it. So all we have is this random blue dragon coming down and transforming into a half-elf model, which they haven't used since. They've used it only for Kael'thas, but not for anyone else to my knowledge. Even the one half-elf that's in the Alliance base in Hellfire Peninsula just looks like a blood elf. He doesn't look like a half-elf. So you have this nice blue-haired, really handsome guy just flying down and saying, oh, Kil'jaeden must be destroyed. We have to rescue Anveena. Wait, hold up. Who are you? What? What's going on? We're chasing down Kael'thas. What are you doing here? Who are you? What? And you just talk to him. He's like, yes, look over there. That's the Sunwell where they're summoning Kil'jaeden. And there lies Anveena. And I love her. Alright, cool, that's nice. Why is there a girl floating in the sphere? Why is there a girl floating in a ball of light? Kinda reminds me of Korra. Legend of Korra Season 2 totally didn't rip this off almost entirely. Nope, not at all. So, he tells you to look through this scrying orb. You look through the scrying orb, and sure enough, you see this random girl dressed as, like, just a normal person, floating in a golden sphere above the Sunwell, above the fucking Sunwell, being channeled by a group of, obviously, Sargeras, Eridar. And they're trying to summon Kil'jaeden, apparently using this person. And this person is, apparently, the Sunwell. Okay, imagine going into that having no prior knowledge and not reading the manga series, like 95... I would say more than 95. I would say I would put money on 99% of the people that actually did the content did not read the manga series and had no idea what the fuck was going on, much like myself. So yeah, the entire raid led up to a manga series that had been running before or during the term of World of Warcraft, in between vanilla and this point in Burning Crusade. Nobody was following it because people weren't reading it because it was not even hinted at a little bit in the game. If you're doing a storyline like this, at least I think that you should have some more story given to the players who've been playing the game. Call me crazy, but I think it would be fair if you were to be questing throughout the entire Burning Crusade, maybe even if it was just in the Blood Elf Zone, even if it was just through questing Ghostlands. They put Darkon in there. He was the main villain in the Sunwell series. They put Darkon in there and you fucking kill him like he's nothing. They could have very easily put something relating to the Sunwell series there. Now, I'm told that the reason they didn't do that, it was because they originally planned on having Black Temple with Illidan being the final raid for Burning Crusade, but players didn't like the idea of like ending on that note or whatever, so apparently people wanted to see the Sunwell, so they put in the Sunwell. And it worked. It worked really well, except for the fact that they didn't effectively push the storyline, so it made no sense as to what you were doing. If you took out that entire thing, if there was no Kael'thas, if there was no Anveena being the Sunwell, and it was just you chasing down Kael'thas trying to stop his his former Illidari is now Sargerai trying to summon Kil'jaeden into the Sunwell, it would have been perfectly fine. The story would have made sense. Yeah, you've got the Shattered Sun, you've got the exiled Blood Elves who defected from kael'thas's forces, and you've got the Aldor. You've got the Aldor and Scryers together fighting like alongside each other like they did outside the Black Temple, and like trying to stop this Legion invasion before it happens. That would have made perfect sense. But the entire crux of that part of the expansion was based on a manga series that no one had any idea about. And if you're one of the few people that actually read the manga series, you have a very unique perspective, because the rest of us were completely going into this blind. I can assure you that much, because I myself was one of those people, and the entire time I was asking everybody, I was like, guys, who's Anveena? Where was she in the game before? Did I miss like a huge plot point? What happened? Who is this person? Who is Kalik? And then eventually you get into the Sunwell raid when that finally unlocks, and you see kael'thas. Oh, okay, yeah, this is the guy that we saw on the Magister's Terrace. He's evil. Oh no, what happened? Oh, he's corrupted by a demon. Fine, okay, fix him. Great, we beat the boss, you take out the demon, he's cured. Great. He's like, yeah, you have to go and stop Kil'jaeden. Kil'jaeden must be destroyed. Kil'jaeden must be destroyed. And go save Anveena. She's our only hope. I thought we were our... Okay, bye. And he flies away. Bye, go bye. And so you push on. You fight Brutalis. You get frozen behind an ice wall by Madragosa. Madragosa was sent by Malygos to see what the fuck was going on with Sunwell magical energies, and she was looking for a kael'thas. You can just see that he had flown away literally like minutes earlier. None of the players could have been like, hey, we saved him, he's over there. No, you just gotta watch in horror as she like tortures this giant demon, and gets overconfident with herself, lets her guard down, and just gets charged into the face and dies immediately like an amateur. Fucking amateur blue dragons. And of course, Kalik doesn't give two fucks. He doesn't care fucking at all that literally his sister is just like murdered, like right there. He's just like, no, we gotta get Anveena. I don't care. He doesn't even acknowledge that Madragosa was there. He doesn't even acknowledge that his fellow blue dragon was there. That pissed me off for sure. But it's okay. You go on, you fight all the bosses, blah blah blah. You defeat Muru and whatever, and just go on to the Sunwell. Great, you summon Kil'jaeden only halfway. He's kind of like Ragnaros. Fine, kill him. Or at least put him back through the portal. How do you do that? Well, you don't. You're basically just trying to fend him off as long as you possibly can, so he doesn't come to full power and fully materialize into Azeroth. While kael'thas is trying to convince Anveena that she is in fact the Sunwell, and to become Sunwell.
I serve only the master
Anveena,
now.
I love you. You must do what you've always been born to do. What was the line? Play the line.
Anveena, I love you. Focus on my voice. Come back for me now. Only you can cleanse the Sunwell.
Yeah, fucking that one. That line. Yeah. So when you get to this point, we're like, oh, this is the person we saw through the scrying orb. Oh, I get it. She's the Sunwell. Great. Oh, she stopped Kil'jaeden. She saved the day. Awesome. Oh, I'm so glad we did all that. I'm so glad that Anveena was the Sunwell. Of course Anveena's the Sunwell. How could she not be the Sunwell? How could we have been so stupid? How could we have not seen it coming? Of course she's the Sun... God, she's... So that's the argument that I like to use, is whenever something happens in the game, lore-wise, that just fucking doesn't make sense, whenever they retcon something, whenever Blizzard retcons something, or... I just say... It really doesn't bother me anymore after that, because I just say, you know what, guys? I'm talking to my friends. I just say, you know what, guys? It's okay, because Anveena's the Sunwell. And that's the argument that you could use for everything that's happened in the game that really doesn't make too much sense. Oh, yeah, sure. Yeah, how did Darian Mograine get the corrupted Ashbringer from Naxxramas? After another player had already done that, brought it to the Scarlet Monastery and had Alexandros Mograine's spirit come out and kill his son in an act of vengeance for killing him using the Ashbringer itself. Doesn't matter, Anveena's the Sunwell. How did, oh boy, what happened to the Dragon Soul after they took it out of time and then brought it to the present, question mark? I don't even know how time works anymore in this game, and neither does Blizzard, and they know it. What happened to the Dragon Soul? after Thrall used it against Deathwing, fucking, it doesn't matter, Anveena's the Sunwell. Sylvanas tried to kill herself after you beat Arthas, and she dies again in the Worgen area, which is the undead leveling area in Cataclysm. She still has all of her Valkyr at that point, even though they had already sacrificed themselves to try and bring her back once, and they thought it would be okay to do it again because apparently this bitch is just sick of unliving and just keeps dying over and over again. So how does this keep happening? It doesn't matter because Anveena's the Sunwell. Why is Magni Bronzebeard frozen as, like, you know, a stone statue in the depths of Old Ironforge, which is opened again in apparently a small library, which is reminiscent of the Karazhan library? And why has he not been part of the story? Why has he just been taken out permanently when he was a much cooler king than fucking the other guy is? It doesn't matter because Anveena's the Sunwell. Why was an orc wedding used to overshadow the blessing of the New World Tree by all of the aspects which have not been active until that point? It doesn't matter because Anveena's the Sunwell. Why does no one care that Bud Nedrek is zul'jin? Has no one noticed that? Why does no one care that Zul'jin's spirit is possessing Bud Nedrek to collect artifacts of power to restore his other form and bring him back to life, to raise the Amani Empire once again, because we need a third troll raid of the same place? It doesn't really matter, I mean, you know, because Anveena's the Sunwell. And this one's really my favorite. Why were the Worgen so badass and really, really scary when they were originally a concept and in the game, but completely messed up both appearance-wise and story-wise when they were reintroduced in Cataclysm? If you guys don't know, the Worgen, based on a book that you find in Questing in Ashenvale, the Worgen used to come from another planet. They were not from Azeroth. They were not a curse. They were summoned from another world. And that world was considered so savage that the Burning Legion was afraid of them. The Burning Legion tried to invade the Worgen world and failed, just against the Worgen. And the Scythe of Elune was used to summon them into this world. And what Arugal did was he used that to create a sort of curse to transform people into the Worgen, and also to summon the Worgen. That's why the Sons of Arugal were the transformed Worgen, and the other Worgen that you found around were actually summoned by him into that world. That was pretty cool. Now it's just, yeah, we got druids, they fucked up, they got angry, they wanted to be really, really powerful, so they turned themselves into wolf people and it didn't work out so good. And they started eating each other. That's the Worgen story now. Why would they change that? It was so much cooler. But, I mean, you know, it's okay. But it's okay, because Anveena's the Sunwell. And that's the argument you can use for anything in World of Warcraft. And I frequently use it, because there are a lot of things you can use it for. So that's my little rant about Anveena being the Sunwell and why it's complete bullshit. So, yeah, thanks for watching this one. I don't do a lot of these kinds of videos, but if you want to see more, then let me know, and hopefully I'll see you guys around. And thanks for listening. You know, it's, oh boy. Man, I wish they could have just, you know, finished all these storylines that they messed up, though. Or these storylines that they took out, or just didn't continue. Things like, you know, the Ashbringer just magically ending up in the hands of Tyrion Fordring, after it was magically in the hands of Darien Mograine, after it was magically not put in the game, and its item number was changed to be Thunder Fury, Blessed Blade of the Windseeker, because they never finished the Nat Pagle fishing storyline that actually had to do with the Ashbringer, or the Dire Maul quest line that had to do with the Ashbringer. But you know what? That's okay, because Anveena's the Sunwell. I'll catch you guys later. Oh boy.